You guys, put yourself in my shoe. Imagine knowing that you're pregnant, you're having a baby on the way, and you are just scared to tell those that you love. It's not a good position to be in. And so you can only imagine like the stress factors that I carried with me for so long. Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. I'm doing a little 3-part series being that it was Michaela's birthday. I want to make a video, just kind of video surrounding her and my pregnancy and my birth story and life after. So if y'all want to see and hear the story, stay tuned. And like I said, I'm going to be posting this in, I believe, 3 parts. So this is the first part and this is my teen pregnancy experience. So let's check out this video. Girl, how you gonna sneeze in the middle of my video though? Let me bite you up. If y'all want to know what happened, stay tuned for the story and be on the lookout for the rest, okay? Thanks. Oh, and before I get started with this video, how about a big congrats to Jamie and Nikki who just had their baby. Y'all, I had to mention it on here. I had no choice because guess what they named their baby? Zoe. Just like I named my baby girl. Like, how cool is that? They named her Zoe, and they just posted that video, their name reveal. It's obviously up. It's in their name reveal video, and yeah, they named their baby Zoe. I was kind of watching their videos and seeing them do the whole erase the board every day. I was wondering, I wonder if they would ever use Zoe, but they did spell it Z-O-E-Y on the chart, so I thought, oh, they're going to spell it different, but they spelled it Z-O-E like we did. And we debated for a long time about the Z-O-E-Y. But yeah, I just want to say quick congrats to them. And I just thought it was really cool that they named their baby Zoe like we did, because Zoe's a really cute name. And the irony, we just both had our baby. Well, actually, we didn't have our baby in the same year. But I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, on to the video. Welcome back to our channel. Now disregard the background. Oh my gosh. Also, because it was just my 14-year-old's birthday, I decided to kind of share her little birth story. Now, I have shared this story probably once on this channel, not in a video that stands alone. So I realized that for all of you guys that are newcomers, you are kind of wondering, what is this woman's story? How did these kids come about? Like, you know, there's just so many questions that are always left unanswered. So I decided to create a mixed birth story video for y'all. And it's not, you know, it's just going to explain to you about my story. So let's get started. So for those of you who don't know, I got pregnant with Michaela when I was 19. And that was some tough times because, yeah, Aaron and I had been dating for I don't know, 7 months, and then I fell pregnant. That was it was tough because I was, you know, in the church, and that was obviously not something that was expected. And for me, anyone that I knew that got pregnant in high school, or, you know, because it was at the end of high school for me, anyone that I knew that got pregnant in high school, I feel like, I don't know, I just thought it was just really young, and just the idea of your relationship working out just sounded surreal. Not to mention just the whole point of telling my parents and all that jazz. So anyways, long story short, I got pregnant with Michaela. The way I found out I was pregnant was Aaron and I had ordered like a giant pizza, and this pizza, it was like a typical thing that we did like every Friday, and I ate it and I felt super ill after that. Like, it was like a feeling like no tomorrow. I was also feeling like slightly different before, but I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. But the pizza was like the big thing that just threw me off. I ate it and I immediately ran and it came up. So I think that was kind of like the turning point for me, when I was like, okay, I think I have to take a test because I am not sure what is going on. After that, I basically went to the drugstore. Aaron and I went to the drugstore, and we picked up 2 of the first response pregnancy tests. And these are the blue ones. I think these are the ones with the blue dye that everyone who is TTCing, if you're like a person that TTCs, you will know the one that everyone says, oh, don't use it. They talk about the red dye one being the most effective. Now, I used the blue one, and it was fine. It worked fine. I took them both, and they both came up brightly positive. And yeah, if knowing what I know now, I mean, yeah, there was no doubt in my there was without a shadow of a doubt that those pregnancy tests were super duper positive. But I needed more confirmation, so I booked an appointment at like a local clinic, and we went there and got the test. I believe, yeah, they took the results and gave it to me right away, and surely enough, yes, I was pregnant, and I believe I was, I think about six or 7 weeks. Someone is super tired. Yes, I was about 6 or 7 weeks. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't remember if I had still gotten my cycle, but honestly, there was no indication as to that I was expecting, aside from the fact that I was feeling really ill, and I started just feeling grossly pregnant. I want to interject too in saying, like, honestly, throughout that pregnancy, I got so sick. Like, I remember taking things like colloidal silver, drinking is it peppermint, and just various things that could help to relieve nausea. And honestly, a lot of it did not work, but I tried and tried because I just felt so gross. At first I didn't know what the heck to do. I think, as with any young teenager, and it was 19. I think the first thought is like, what do you do? Especially when you're scared to tell your parents. I think I've always known that the option of not getting rid of my baby, keeping my baby, was the only choice. However, thoughts crossed my mind because I was just so scared to tell my parents. While all these crazinesses are going on in my head, Aaron, on the other hand, had other plans. Like, he stepped up, he came through. I didn't know what to expect of it. I was just thinking, this is crazy. Like, I felt bad, and my first thought, even though I felt bad for myself, and I knew that I wanted the best for my baby, I felt bad for him because I just didn't want to have him feel like he was now kind of trapped with a baby. He was like happy, and he had given me a promise ring shortly before we discovered I was pregnant. And so after discovering that I was pregnant, he then proposed. So he's a year older than me. He was 20. So he was, I don't know, I guess, I don't want to say more mature, but he kind of knew what he wanted, and he was ready to propose. In terms of telling my parents, I was very nervous to tell my parents. I hid that I was pregnant for like 5 months until my dad came about and asked. And yeah, and I finally told him after 5 months. I would just go to school, come home, go to work, kind of have on my work. I worked at Sobeys at the time. So if you guys remember, just like their chef style uniforms. Are you done? I'm nursing. So if you guys remember their chef style uniform, you would know that like it was big enough to kind of cover stuff, and that's what I did. I kind of just hid it and went on about my merry way, and then my dad finally asked one day, and I just told him. It wasn't necessarily an easy story to accept for everyone, but initially he was very supportive, way more than I ever thought he would be, and my story just changed, because you guys, put yourself in my shoe. Imagine knowing that you're pregnant, you're having a baby on the way, and you are just scared to tell those that you love. It's not a good position to be in. And so you can only imagine like the stress that I carried with me for so long. And at that 5-month mark, when I was asked how I was feeling, oh my gosh, at that 5-month mark, when I was finally asked how I was feeling, no, that's not right. At that 5-month mark, when I finally was asked what's going on, and I confessed, you can only imagine what I felt. So, yeah, that was a relief, and there was just like so much support from our family and from our parents. Not that they were happy and excited about what happened, but they were just, I don't know, they realized, I guess, that there aren't many options that one can do beyond this point. So everyone showed up, everyone supported, and it was the biggest blessing ever. I think the last time I told the story, I was crying. I was like crying buckets, because it was just still so near to me, and it still is. But that was like my pregnancy experience. So I scratch me on that. I'm pretty sure in the beginning of this video I titled it birth story. I'm just going to call it my teen pregnancy experience, because that's what I was. I was still a teen when I became pregnant with her. But yeah, those were some hard times, like just trying to get through life. Before even telling our parents, our job was just to work our butts off, and we were just working, trying to save money, and I was trying to just do all that I can. Obviously, I knew I was going to need their support one way or the other, and I hate that idea of thinking like, you know, I had to let all my burdens fall back on my parents. But thank God for parents, because they came through like 100%. They are honestly like my biggest support system through and through. And I feel like that moment brought our family so much closer, because we got through, and they were just there for us. They never neglected us. After discovering that I was pregnant, they never even really, they didn't pester in the negative direction. Honestly, I don't have any recollection of that. And to be honest, so if they did ask questions, which I'm sure they did, but I'm saying like they were just so encouraging and motivating moving forward after I told them what had happened. And that's not easy. I'm a parent now, and I can only imagine what they felt and what they were going through. So shout out to my parents. Y'all are amazing. Seriously, I would not be where I'm at if it weren't for you guys. And y'all have been the biggest blessing in my life. I am so, oh my gosh, don't cry. Oh my gosh, I'm serious, like I don't want to cry, because I'm a big crybaby. But I am so blessed to have you guys in my life. And yeah, that is my teen pregnancy story. I don't know, y'all, let me also state, so after this, obviously after finding out I was pregnant, after finding out that I was pregnant, things just progressed in that direction. Like I said, Aaron and I worked to save, and we worked to do as much as we could. Obviously, baby arrived before so anyways, we had decided, he had proposed, and so I brought that to my parents, and obviously he had a meeting with my dad, who kind of asked like all these questions, and he explained to my dad that he wanted to marry me. And that was like a shocker to me, because I'm like, even though he proposed, I think I was still in shock at the fact that like this is all happening so fast. Like, I'm here pregnant with a baby, and now I'm gonna get married. Like, it was just all, you know. But God is good, because he has seen us through, guys. And honestly, like, I feel like these kind of things, they happen for a reason. And like, I just feel like this is my story. This is our story, and it was meant to be. Like, I don't see any gaps in between where I even question it. Where I even question it. I feel like this is our story, and it was meant to be what it is. And I just want to share it with you guys, especially if any of you guys are out there. I guess my main advice is, if you're a teen, wrap it up. Like, don't be going out there and doing this, because I know our story is the exception. It's not, and I'm not saying that I'm the only one who's made it through, okay? Don't get it twisted, but I'm saying our story is the exception. It is not for the greater majority, hence why there are having to be a lot of single moms, whether it be just people aren't stepping up to the plate or whatever it is. In fact, a lot of the moms, you know, props to y'all single moms out there. I see you all making it happen, because you are often left with no choice. So, am I boring you? So shout out to y'all, and do things in order. My story wasn't in order. I always call it living life backwards, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, because it's tough. It's a lot of work, and I wouldn't change my story for the world, but I know that not everyone's going to want to put up with my story. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to see part 2, which is the actual birth story for Michaela, be on the lookout. It should be up probably following this video, actually in the same time frame. So thank you guys for watching, and much love.